I'm Jeff Hunt. He's Bill Thorpe. It's Thursday.
You know what it's like the day after the Christmas party.
Dude, I learned so many secrets. So many
yes,
secrets.
you did. I'm in so much trouble. I
sat next to the wonderful, charming, amazing Angela Thorpe.
Oh, thank you. That's and looking back on that, that probably was a bad decision on my part.
Well, she pulled out the phone and started showing pictures of Billy when he was a Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, I was
acolyte.
Yeah, I was hardcore. Yeah, I was. That's the weird thing. Okay, and this is one of the things I was thinking about last night. Because again, you get home and your brain is still going because it was so much fun seeing everybody last night and getting the whole crew together.
Whole company-wide Christmas party.
Yeah, including people out of Colorado Springs and even people that work nationally that are just based here. So it was so cool. I mean, it was a really nice family group, and we're all just such good friends that it was really neat to see everybody. And I was thinking about that there are many times, like we were interviewing Brett Jones from the CSU, Turning Point group earlier in the week, and there are things that I hear from him, and there are things that I hear that I'm like, that could have been me at that age.
Yeah.
That age, Jones, if I was in college at the age and Charlie got shot, I mean, it's better than 50-50. I would have been a person starting the Turning Point chapter on my college campus at that point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's easily better than 50-50. In fact, at my time where I was politically, it's probably at least 80%. I would be out there doing the exact same thing that those guys are, which is interesting for me to hear it coming out of their mouths. It's a really weird journey in time for me. So, yeah, it was cool. And it was great sitting down with you, and I appreciate you chatting. You learned so many things about me.
Yeah, well, what was very cool is that at one point, Bill Thorpe's wife, Angela, the two of them had a show together. So you and your wife had a show together.
Yes, we did. We had a radio show together. And at the time, we did not talk about our relationship on the air. We were dating at the time, but that was never a subject of discussion. The entire audience, in fact, it was a surprise to people that would find out after the show was on that we were dating. We did not approach it in any way, shape, or form as if we were dating because at the time we felt that it would look too cliche because this is the 90s and those types of shows were, it's the husband-wife show and, oh, honey, that just wasn't me. And, and I was kind of a pain in the ass too. So, as you know, Jeff. So there's one of those things that, we had a show together for a while. It did fairly well. We won awards for it. Yeah. And then went off and we each had our own radio careers.
She told me that you also went through a grunge phase. There was Rush Limbaugh, Bill Thorpe. There was Kurt Cobain, Bill Thorpe.
Well, the thing is that Rush Limbaugh and Kurt Cobain, Bill Thorpe are the same era. And it's the same thing. And that's the thing that's why I was always difficult inside of conservative circles, because I was the kid showing up and my hair was dyed. I'm wearing the Nirvana t-shirt and I'm like, no, we got to talk about free trade and this NAFTA thing. And I'd go hardcore on this. I'm like, no, this makes sense. And so, I've always been a dichotomy that way. Yeah. And the funny part is I still have some of the concert t-shirts. I still have some of the t-shirts from the grunge era. And that includes the Color and Shape tour, the second tour for Foo Fighters. They have like 14 dates total across the nation. I've got the concert t-shirt for that. I've got concert t-shirts for Public Image Limited from the 80s. Yeah, I've got the original concert t-shirt from the first tour for Bush, the Screaming Pope tour. I've still got that tour. Yeah. So I have my shirts. Yeah. I can prove that I was there and I put in my time. Yeah, I've got the Pearl Jam t-shirt for when they for Fighting with Ticketmaster, and they did they did that concert out at Red Rocks. I've got the concert t-shirt for that show still. I know. There's a problem with me.
And so that's why it's fun to sit next to his wife, because you get to walk down and learn more about Bill Thorpe, which was great.
Because she and I dated in college. Yeah, we met in college.
So
she's
if you'd like Angela to fill in sometime and be a part of the program, text the Dan Caplis Law text line at 720-819-5115. 720-819-5115. Angela is this very bubbly personality. Very bubbly. She just overflows with happiness and joy, and I'm trying to remember what kind of sitcom character she would remind me of.
I don't know.
She's one of she's like the 90s sitcom mom, that is just really fun to hang around.
Oh, that is very sweet of you. Yeah, she is a bundle of sunshine. It's the room gets brighter for me every time she steps into it. Absolutely every time, even after all these years, even when she walks home through the door at night after
How
work.
many years of marriage?
28.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know. And that includes like years of dating beforehand. I think she and I have been together 32
Yeah, you guys
years.
are soulmates. It's cool to see.
Yeah. It was weird. And we have those weird things with the whole weird telepathy thing we've talked about before. We just did it again this weekend where I'm getting up. We're decorating for Christmas. And I'm getting up and I need a pencil. I don't tell anybody. The word pencil does not come out of my mouth. I just get up and I walk into the kitchen and I'm looking in the back room. I'm looking for a pencil. And about 3 minutes later, she's like, yeah, we got to make sure to take care of that pencil. She stops and she goes, pencil? And then she looks at me as I'm walking out of the kitchen. She goes, why is that word in my head? I go, I'm looking for a pencil. She goes, oh, okay, that makes sense. That happens to us about once a month. Yeah. It'll just pop that way. Yeah, there's just something special.
Well,
thanks for dealing with her. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
She's wonderful. And she loves sitting with you.
It was great. Speaking of love in the air, the Luigi girls. Have you heard about these ladies?
Yes, I have.
These are the girls that are waiting outside all night long in order to get into the courtroom to see the love of their life, Luigi Mangione.
What does
the guy
it
who
say?
did the United Healthcare CEO assassination.
What does it say when these women are pursuing a man they know can't date them?
Well, you could, right? I mean, it's just from prison.
I know, but
I've never
talk about the constraints there. I mean, that's a real limited relationship. I mean, I think if you're looking to start a relationship with someone that is possibly or potentially going to be behind bars long term, you're looking for a relationship with some limits, some real serious limits.
They're everywhere with some of these guys, right? It goes back to Charles Manson. It goes to even the guy that horrifically killed his wife and daughter up in Weld County. Yeah. Remember, put him in the Chris something? And they write love letters to him. Like he's killed women with his own hands. And they're like, who I'd like to start a relationship with.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll talk about the Luigi girls and this phenomenon. Colorado economy not doing great. Denver Gazette out with a big report on Colorado's job growth slowing. And it's slowing in particular areas, which is not going to be good for Colorado, particularly those high-paying jobs. Slowing down here in Colorado. We'll get to that in the 7 o'clock hour. Plus, Abe Layden, Douglas County Commissioner, is going to join us as they seek to punish the businesses for retail theft. What?
That's interesting.
We talked about this the other day with the Common Sense Institute, that there's $1.3 billion of impact as a result of retail theft in Colorado. And in many cases, businesses have just stopped reporting shoplifting. Because it's such a headache.
And they've already priced it in, the loss, into the products that you're going to pay. So as long as you are coming in and paying for the stuff, they can let someone else come in and get it for free. That's a really weird sort of way to approach retail sales. That we figured a bunch of people are going to come here and take stuff for free, so you got to pay more. Yeah, who's the sucker?
Right.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in the 9 o'clock hour with Commissioner Abe Layden. Lots to talk about. He was there last night to Blake Olson.
Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
Hey, good Thursday morning. 41 with some clouds in Denver, expecting a high of 63 today. News sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story last night, a Greeley police officer shot at a man while responding to a call at a burglary in progress in the 2800 block of 16th Avenue. The suspect, a 34-year-old named Manuel Cazares, who allegedly pointed a weapon at an officer. They shot at him. They didn't hit him, but he eventually was apprehended. So let's see, what is his name? Cazares in jail right now. Kyle Behrens is the suspect in custody in Loveland after what police say was a random hammer attack and an attempted stabbing at a tanning salon on Tuesday. He hit one victim more than a dozen times. That was the employee of the tanning salon. That victim is in serious condition, hopefully getting better, fought for her life, and a customer suffered minor injuries but doing well. But thank God both of these people are alive. Just all of a sudden, a random man comes in with a hammer and starts wailing on you. It's just frightening. Police still looking for a suspect following the deadly shooting in Aurora on South Savannah on Tuesday. They found, once again, a woman with gunshot wounds, and she died after she was taken to the hospital. The suspect, once again, was wearing red sweatpants with a black jacket on that Tuesday, riding a bicycle at the time of the shooting. A bomb squad was called to a business in Craig on Tuesday after the owner found homemade explosives outside his store, barely spent consignment. He described them as pipes with caps and fuses on them. Craig police confirmed the explosives. A bomb squad safely removed the devices, then transported them to a safe location where they were detonated. AG Pam Bondi says the oil tanker seized by the U.S. off the coast of Venezuela was used to transport sanctioned oil to Iran. NBC's Alice Barr on the seizure.
The Venezuelan government now claiming President Trump's ramped-up pressure campaign against authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro is about the country's rich oil reserves instead of drug trafficking.
But in a post on X, Bondi said the ship had been sanctioned for years over its alleged involvement in an oil shipping network supporting terrorist groups. The DJT administration threatening to sanction the International Criminal Court unless it pledges not to prosecute 47. They're concerned the ICC will turn its attention to the president. An administration official didn't say if the concern was over the drug boat strikes in the Caribbean. Coloradans enjoying some of the lowest gas prices in the U.S. AAA says the average price of a gallon of regular gas in Colorado was $2.52 on Wednesday. Evacuations underway in the Pacific Northwest as intense rain causing extreme flooding in Washington state. Quarterback Phillip Rivers is out of retirement and practiced with his new team, the Colts, on Wednesday.
The Interior Department.
That's the wrong one.
I wasn't really hanging on any hope of playing again. I kind of thought that ship had sailed. It's been a whirlwind of 48 hours, I'll say. But each moment that goes by, I feel more and more confident.
Once again, the 44-year-old grandfather signed to the Colts practice squad as the team deals with injuries to all three of its quarterbacks. Hasn't played in 5 years. He's on the ballot for the 2026 Pro Football Hall of Fame class, but will be removed once he's officially added to the Colts active roster, of course. Then he'll have to wait another 5 years.
Okay, Blake, that's crazy. That's crazy, isn't it? The fact, okay, he's waited his 5 years. He's finally eligible for the Hall of Fame ballot, and he's like, that stuff don't matter. Get me back in the game. And then he's going to have to wait an additional 5 years. I mean, again, so cool. Phillip Rivers is just wired differently than most, and it is really cool to see that he's like, he's not worried about whether or not he's going to get that gold jacket. He's not really worried about the fact that he's going to have a bust in Canton. That's not of his concern. He's just going to go out and play because he enjoys it.
Yes, imagine that.
Yeah. And okay, and if he does this, and if the Colts do not do some sort of a, like, you know, dad showing the younger kids what to do kind of a video, you know, thing. I mean, like him showing the linemen how to tie their ties, or he's going through and he's showing the backup quarterbacks the exact way you should make a burger patty and when you have to flip it. I mean, you know, that's what he should be doing. He should, that kind of stuff. Yes,
absolutely.
That's what he needs to be doing. And if they don't have something with him walking around and offering people butterscotches out of his pocket. They're missing out. They are missing out. There's options here, people.
Great.
I'm saying.
Butterscotch is out of his pocket. Man, I thought I was the only one who experienced that.
See, that's what you got. They could be talking to the backup quarterback, and he's like, butterscotch? Like, thank you. Yeah. It'd be wonderful. Yeah.
Awesome. Or root beer candies.
Yes, exactly. Or he's the only one that likes the black licorice in the team meetings. Yes, exactly. That's what they need.
Hey, you need to contact them. They really do need to do that.
It would be so good.
Absolutely. I don't know if you would remember Billy, Jeff won't, but George Blanda. He was 48 years old when I was like 10 years old.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when he played for the Raiders. I think his last year was 76 or 75. That
sounds right, yeah.
And Jeff, he was not only a quarterback, but he was a straight-on kicker. Yeah. So he kicked it straight on.
So he just ran a straight line.
Hair. His face was falling out of his face mask. It was so awesome.
He looked like your elementary school PE teacher showed up on Sunday, and they're like, "You want to play?" And he's like, "I can do this." Yes.
And I'm almost positive. I think he would smoke cigarettes on the sideline.
That would make sense. Yes, that would make sense. And he would. And the reason what he sit there and he's like, "I can't breathe. I got to catch my wind. Someone give me a cigarette." That's the cure.
Exactly.
That's what it would be, yes.
Help me
give me a cigarette.
The water.
Yes.
Oh, man. Hey, Michigan has fired their head football coach, Sharon Moore. I think it's Sharon. I'm sorry. Over an alleged inappropriate relationship with a staff member. The university athletic director said that there's credible evidence and found following an internal investigation. So, man, some tough times at Michigan right now. Florida Panthers at the Avs tonight at 7:30. Nuggets at the Kings tonight at 8 o'clock. Tip-off. And the company party was awesome last night. The only person we missed was Jeff's wife. So, hopefully we can see her soon.
My wife was really mad that Miss Jeff wasn't there. That was like,
you guys are
going to
learn. You guys are on to something.
Yeah.
Keep chasing down that rabbit hole, Blake. Like Candace, you'll find out she's not really real.
She's not real.
She might be my dad.
It's CGI.
Dressed up.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Or maybe it's just the James Cameron CGI thing.
There you go.
Him
Don't tempt me. Do not tempt me. It's good content for tomorrow.
Okay, on a side note, very strange tangent here because I said James Cameron. James Cameron released a documentary yesterday, day before, Billie Eilish's new concert film. Okay, now, again, irrelevant personally. They're just saying it's going to change everything. I watched it, but the best thing was in the comments, someone posted, it said, "I don't know about this one. There's a shocking lack of CGI blue people. I think I'll skip it." And I was like, that's the best comment. That is absolutely the best comment. Yeah, I'm like, you win the comment. That was fantastic. Yeah, that was it. That was good.
I love it. Well, great seeing you guys last night. My wife loved both of you guys. She just had a blast
great.
meeting you
She's
guys.
so special. She's fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun, man. We all outkicked our coverage. So.
Yes, we did. We absolutely did.
No,
oh my God,
but man, Billy, I'm telling you, there's no one that you could have married more than your wife. Unbelievable.
I agree entirely with that.
Jeff talked about that earlier.
There's that saying that there's a lid for every pot.
Yeah.
She fits perfectly
yeah,
for
she does.
you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. She does.
Man.
Yeah, I always tell people our crazy fits together perfectly. It just works. Yeah, and there's weird things. It just works, and it's magic when you find it. I'm lucky enough in my life, I know I wake up daily and understand there are people out there that have this one person in their life. They're like, I wish I would have this. That person could have been. Maybe it was I married that person. I never have to guess.
Awesome.
And that's the thing that is cool. And every day I thank that because I know that I'm a mess. And so the fact that she deals with my mess, it is fantastic. Yeah, it's wonderful.
By the way, George Blanda did smoke a pack a day of Marlboros.
Did he?
Often lighting up on the sidelines.
There we go. Yeah.
He even credited smoking and drinking as part of his unusual routine that kept him in shape to play until the age of 48.
Awesome.
I almost see like there was a picture of him smoking at some sidelines, but everybody smoked. I mean, in every show they smoked, in every movie they smoked.
Man.
So it was ubiquitous. Everybody had a cigarette.
Yes.
So I just assumed that there was a picture of George Blanda. I don't know if I'm making up in my mind, but I feel like as a kid I saw that on the sideline. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I saw it on a trading card. I have to ask Mark Anderson. Better. He may have one. I mean, yeah.
That would be a winner trading card of him. It'd be better if he had a cigarette and like a half martini. Not a full martini, half martini. Yeah.
Right. There's an advertisement for Budweiser on it or something.
Yes. And if you turn the trading card, it's a 2-for-1 at the store. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. All for the kids.
Yes, for the kids.
There's a great picture of him walking into the stadium, dressed up in a suit with a Marlboro hanging out of his hand.
Just hanging out of his hand. Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
That was it. Yep.
Oh, man, I love it. All right, you're waking up with Jeff and Bill. Blake Olson, News Talk 710 KNUS.
Breezy periods, but mild and dry. We have Arctic air to our north and east, but it's not going to be able to come south as Pacific air will dominate. This will keep temperatures well above average as we go through the rest of the week, through the weekend, into the start of next week. 50s and lower 60s today, low to mid 60s tomorrow. Little cooler, upper 50s Friday, then 50s and 60s for the weekend. Nighttime temperatures will be mostly in the middle to upper 30s. Meteorologist Don Day in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
Gabe texted in, thrilled. We're talking about the Raiders this morning. Mad love. We love you, Gabe.
Yeah, shout out, Gabe.
Good to hear from you. We've kicked off quite a text message thread today. Do you remember Jim Leyland smoking in the Rockies dugout?
Oh, yeah, Jim Leyland would. Yeah.
Would he?
Would, yeah. But he's the old school manager that he came out of I remember his great days, the Pirates and a few others. He was one of those old school managers that I was really high on because I thought, now we got a guy that really gets it. He's going to come here and he's going to whip this game into shape and he's going to get the team and he tried. We had some success, but he tried. Yeah, but he was fun.
Yeah,
Did you ever have a coach that smoked or drank or anything when you were growing up?
No, but you had some questionable coaches. You're like, why are you here?
Yeah, there are a couple of those.
What is that? Yeah, you don't have a kid on the team.
Yeah, what are you doing here? Why? Yeah, it was like the Cub Scout leader that actually, the person they were Webelos 2 years ago. What are we doing here? Yeah, they're still there. Yeah, I appreciate it.
You seem really interested in wanting to go camping with kids.
Yeah,
what is going on there?
What are you doing here?
So I definitely had a little eyebrow raise. Speaking of eyebrow raising,
yes,
the Luigi girls.
This is weird.
Slept outside. They sleep outside the courthouse each night, waiting in line up to 12 hours in order to see the love of their life, Luigi Mangione, the guy who shot the United Healthcare CEO. I ran into this at the Bernie Sanders rally.
Did you?
And there was a woman wearing a shirt, and it said, "But Daddy, I love him." And it was a picture of Luigi.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that shirt.
Wild. So there's so many angles on this. First of all, progressive women, which I think are the women that are probably most interested in Luigi Mangione. I don't see.
Here's the thing.
I don't see a lot of Catholic girls excited.
I would hope so, because if it is a Catholic girl or a MAGA girl, there's a whole nother list of questions we have. But again,
right? Yeah. So they tend to be progressive. Statistics say they're not all that interested in getting married. as a whole, progressive women, right?
Thus the dude going to jail. Makes it much easier that way.
Right.
Much easier. Yeah. See?
So you're saying that it allows them to love somebody without having to. Maybe he's the ultimate.
Yes.
Maybe that's it. Maybe there's the reason why.
Exactly. You never have to worry whether or not he's going to take his wet towel and just drop it on the bathroom floor because he's not bending over in the bathroom. Aha! See what I did there? Sorry. Maybe a little too early for that.
That was there's a lot of connections
Yes,
there.
there
That was
were.
very
I'm sorry.
good, Mr. Thorpe.
I'm sorry. I should not do that this early in the morning.
So, so they tend to be these progressive girls that aren't all that interested in marriage to begin with, but they really like him. And I think there's twofold reasons. One is there's always been this element of bizarre women that like murderers, like Ted Bundy, that left alone with them, there's a chance you would not survive. So I don't know why they would be interested in these people to begin with, but for whatever reason, Chris Watts, that was the guy. That was the name I was thinking, right?
Yeah.
Like he receives love letters. Like the dude strangled his own wife and then horribly murdered his own children, and yet women are like, oof, maybe there's this like off Nightingale element of where they feel like they could rescue him, save him.
Like they can fix him. And
if he just loved a little bit more,
you may have known women. I've known a couple in my past. Never involved in a relationship, but people that I would know where they would have that lost puppy syndrome, where they're trying to fix whoever they're
like the
dating.
bad boy.
Yeah.
So is it an extension of that? Because the girls in high school, they like the bad guys, right? The ones that would always treat them like crap, and you're like, what's that dynamic about?
Yeah, why would you do that? Yeah, I don't understand.
I never understood it. To me, it seemed like an intelligence flaw.
Yeah.
But if you were that person, or maybe you went through that phase and you kind of came out of it, I would love to hear from you, because I don't understand the girls that are like, ooh, the guy that is likely to cheat on me and treat me poor is the guy that I really am infatuated with.
Yeah. And, side note, during high school and a little bit in college, I was the guy or the friend that the girls would call and go, he's doing it again. I'm like, and we are surprised why. I mean, I understand and I console you and I get it, but you knew he did this when you started dating him. You are aware of the fact that he is this much of a jerk at times, yet you continue to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Help me understand that dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't get it. Give me a call, 303-696-1971, or text us on the Dan Caplis Law text line, 720-819-5115. So that's one of the dynamics of this story. The other is that I think these progressive women see him as almost a form of hero.
Yes.
Right? That he took on the big, bad healthcare CEO and killed him. And not so much I love the bad boy thing as he is in my kind of Marxist oppressor versus oppressed worldview, a hero that stood up against the evil healthcare machine.
And you get some sort of, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, they gain some sort of social status by saying they're the girlfriend or they're the love interest if they can bring it that far. Now you're not just Jane from accounting or Jane the local sales manager or Jane the store manager or Jane the public education teacher. You are now Jane Luigi Manny and girlfriend. So now there's a whole different level of intrigue to you. And I think that may be part of it too. I also want to go, if the girl that was wearing, the woman that was wearing the "But Daddy, I Love Him" shirt, I've always wanted to encounter one of those people in the wild, because my question to them would be, and your relationship is going to be based on what? You love him based on what? What exactly is this mutual love interest? What is the thing that you're receiving in this type of a relationship? Because if this is a one-way deal where you've never had a conversation with him and everything else, and you love him, that's great. Back in the 70s and 80s, that would be the person who would have a Sean Cassidy poster in their room and go and kiss it every night and say, good night, Sean. That's what you are. You might as well just get a big giant poster, kiss him at the end of the night, because you're just doing what a middle school girl used to do in their bedroom. Go right ahead, but don't pretend like this is a real relationship. I mean, I get questions for those people with those T-shirts.
Joan from Lakewood texting in, guys, it's a lot simpler than this. It's the eyebrows.
He does have remarkably good eyebrows, which is
What? That's like attractive to women? Women like are drawn to that?
I don't know.
Eyebrows?
I have no idea. I would hope there was more of a whole package kind of thing, but if it was just eyebrows, I would have spent a lot more time pruning them when I was younger, just because. Yeah, I would have spent a lot more time on that.
Those thick, masculine eyebrows. I've never heard that before.
Yes.
So fascinating to me. All right. And then when we come back, not only are they out there, professional line sitters are out there as well, and they're making bank.
That's something
we'll talk about that as well.
Yeah,
because they were there for the Trump cases.
And I feel bad, and I'll tell the stories when we get back, because I still have my amateur status. I didn't know that I could go pro. I'll tell you about that. At one point I was an amateur line sitter. I was damn good at it. And we'll talk about how that was experienced, and it was encouraged by my parents.
And if you're paid for by the hours, then a good use of your time, right? Now you're just going to sit around and scroll your phone. Might as well get paid for it.
So you're saying my parents may owe me money based on the number of times I had to stand in line for that. All right, I got to talk to Mom. I'm going to text her right now.
Let's talk Guy Reese, folks. My wife and I have had a wonderful, fantastic experience with Guy Reese. They're all over the Denver metro area. We went to the one in Parker, got to sit down with their professional designer who showed us an incredible selection of Hunter Douglas custom blinds, shades, and shutters. I was a little overwhelmed at first. I've never actually worked with a designer, and I'm not someone that had the financial means to think I could hire a designer. But they were incredibly affordable, and they walked us through everything, helping us find the perfect options to enhance the look and functionality of our home. So whether your curtains are clashing or you want a fresh look, Guy Reese has the solutions for you. Their designers are the experts, and they help you with everything from window treatments to full room decor. Here's the best part. They offer a personalized in-home consultation. So they'll bring paint samples, blind samples, all out to your house. They come directly to you. They even bring lasers to measure everything. You can get the same expert advice right in your own home. Do yourself a favor. Get started today. Visit GuyReese.com to schedule your in-home consultation. That's GUIRYS.com. Go see the great people at Guy Reese. You'll be sure to thank me, and we will continue with the Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader, News Talk 710, KNUS.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill. We're talking Luigi Mangione and the Luigi girls that wait out up to 12 hours hoping to get into the courtroom to see him. And the ladies on the text messages responding. Joan from Lakewood going, it's his thick eyebrows. I think that's why the ladies like him. Jacqueline going, I don't care for the Mangione look. He looks like a scruffy little gang kid. I'm sorry, but I'm more into this Sam Elliott, Tom Selleck type.
Oh, there you go.
Bill,
it's about the mustache.
Yeah, the mustache.
That's what it is.
I saw this headline about Gen Z men. 45% of them have never even asked a girl out to date.
No.
In real life, like person to person, face to face. 45%.
That's crazy. That 45% never. That's weird. But then they're insulated based on social media.
Yeah, true.
And what they see and expectations, and that's weird.
So this was a great advantage I figured out in college versus my buddies was that I went to a Christian college where the expectation was no physical activity, sexual until marriage.
Yeah.
So. But one of this thing that I noticed among men in my classes was this like fear that if you took a girl out on a date, you were going to marry her. And in my mind, I was like, no, you're just going out to see if you guys like each other, right? So while all my guy friends were like terrified and almost paralyzed to ask a girl out, I took girls out to coffee all the time because in my mind, it was just an easy opportunity to see if there was anything there. It was just like, let's just talk. Let's go to a bookstore. Tell me about your favorite book. And typically within 5 minutes, I figured out if I wanted to go out on a second date or not. Most of the time I didn't. So it just became kind of a nice, afternoon at a bookstore with a pleasant conversation. Then we went home.
Yeah.
And dropped her off at her dorm and we were done. So I don't understand this big hurdle that guys have. Like, go see if there's something there. What is the harm? And I understand that guys can get nervous asking a girl out, right? Like a pretty girl makes a guy's heart go beat real fast. Yep. You get all excited stuff. But you can just go, how's your day, man? Bill, you don't seem like the guy that had any problems asking a girl out.
No, oddly enough, again, no fear. For me, it was, I don't care. You can say no all you want. I had no problem being that guy that would go and ask the girl to dance at the club or even to the school dances. Doesn't matter. And even if she said no and I walk away alone, okay, so what? Again, it wasn't because early on, there's so many little things in my life that I had to realize that who I am and how I felt about myself was going to be infinitely more important than how everybody else looked at me. Yeah. So if I went over and I asked the girl to dance and she said no, okay, I found out. Does that suck? Yeah. But does the fact that everyone else is like, oh, look what she did, does that impact who I am? No. And I look around the room and you realize, yeah, she said no to me, but how many of the rest of y'all went over and tried? All you guys that are booing me and making eyes at me and saying, "Oh, she got you." How many of you stepped onto the floor and made the same risk? So if you're not going to get in the game, I don't have to respect your critique of what I'm doing. So I had no problem. I had a serial thing where I would do a lot of first dates like you did. And I had a reputation of going on one date and then not dating again because of the same thing. Because I could see, well, this isn't going to click and there's not going to be anything romantic.
Right.
It doesn't mean we can't be friends. And I had a lot of friends. And that's sometimes where I talked about it earlier. Those girls would call me and go, "Oh my God, he's doing it again." That's in many ways, that's how we met the very first time. That's how we hung out and became friends. But no, there wasn't anything romantic between us.
I will tell you this, and you probably agree with me. You could disagree freely, but this is just advice to women out there.
Yeah.
Okay. The worst dates by far are the ones where you have to wring. It's like wringing a wet rag to try to get anything out of it.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, "Tell me who's your favorite author? What books are you reading right now?" I don't know. Or like, what do you want to do with your life? Like, what are you interested in? I don't know. And you're just like, what?
Yeah, it's like the parent who has the kid who gets in the car at the end of the school and going, "Hey, how's the day? Fine. What'd you do? Stuff. What class was interesting? I don't know." And you're like, "What? Hang on."
Like, I'm trying to connect with you here. Give me something to go on.
Exactly.
It's just, I remember I took one girl out and it started that way.
Yeah.
Like in the car, and I think I just drove back around.
Just in a circle. That was quick. Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah. And then there was one for me, and again, this won't surprise anybody that has known the show, and it won't surprise you at all, Jeff. There was one question that I knew really early on whether or not there was going to be anything as far as any sort of a connection, both friendship, but also, more importantly, romantic, was I'd ask the girls, so what are you listening to? What music are you listening to? That told me a lot at the time, in teenage years, told me a lot about who you were, told me a lot about where you were in your life, told me a lot about what your interests were, and whether or not we were going to click on any level at all. And if you turn and you were like, well, I don't know, I just kind of listen, and you can't name anything, and there's not a single band or an artist that you're even slightly passionate about, I'm like, we're just not going to click. It's not a bad thing on you. It's just you're not going to fit inside of my world. It's just not going to work at all.
Joan dated 3 men in one day. She had a Coke date in the afternoon, a regular dinner date, and then a late night date.
Good job.
She's the life of a sorority woman.
Nice job. Well done, Joan. Multitasking. That's fantastic.
Go to Marcus and Aurora. Good morning, Marcus. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Morning.
Morning, guys. Yeah, I agree 100% what you say because times are different. We'd ask. If you got turned down, that's it. So, you get used to it. But what I noticed with the younger guys I work around these days, they want their text number. They don't ask them out. They got to text them. It's so strange. I said, why don't you? Well, it's different, isn't it?
It is different. And here's the thing that I find odd about the fact that they text. And again, I think this is really interesting when they're developing these relationships and even dating back and forth because one of my daughters has a longtime boyfriend, and when they text, I find it curious because electronic communication, meaning that text on the screen, is the most emotionally distant form of communication. There's no real ability to express context. You can't hear any voice intonation. How many times has someone read a text message and you meant it as a joke and they didn't take it that way, or vice versa, because it lacks that verbal communication style? And that's what I don't understand, is these kids that are going back and forth on texting, trying to figure out whether or not you like someone. Like, you're not even hearing who they are. You can't hear the emotion in their voice. You can't hear what gets them excited. There's no reaction. You can't even tell how they laugh. And so that to me is such a weird way to try to figure out if I can foster an emotional connection with this person in the most unemotional means of communication. I find it fascinating and really bizarre, personally.
Yeah, I find it the same way. I just don't know how that works. Hey, do you have so-and-so's phone number so I can text her?
Yeah.
Well, they also do Snapchat.
That's weird.
Snap, and like all the other social media stuff. It's like they meet in a bar and they're like, give me your Snap. And they Snap. Like that. But I'll tell you this, to all the gentlemen, especially the young ones out there, if you can, and it's a skill, if you can develop the skill of being able to talk to a woman face to face and ask her out, you will be light years ahead of the rest of the men.
Jeff and Marcus, when you guys were doing that first date, did you have a go-to thing on the first date if you were interested in the girl that you would do? Now, Jeff, you had the coffee date, but was there something that, and what I mean by that is, would you make sure to open the car door? Make sure to open the door at the coffee?
Definitely.
What things? Did you have any things that you would do?
My mother would be so disappointed if I didn't do that.
Oh, yeah, mine too.
Yeah, of course. You act like a gentleman.
Yeah.
And you just be nice.
Now, this is, if I was really interested in you and I wanted to kind of push this date and make you feel special, again, this is the teenage years and the early college years, my go-to was going and buying that single red rose and then handing it to you at the beginning of the date. Yeah.
Very smooth.
Beginning of the date. Yeah. It's a small investment, it's there, and it's something after the date that if she enjoyed it, then she keeps it and she reminds herself of that date as it sits on the desk. If she hated it, she can take out all the frustrations on the flower afterwards. So it's a win-win.
He made me listen to ska music.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Pulling the pedals off one by one. F him here and F him, stupid horns. Yeah.
Marcus, a question to you. Are you married? I don't know. Yeah. Have you been married before?
Oh, I was married, but she passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that. Tell me about the time, real briefly, you asked her out.
Yeah. What was that first date?
I always ask the same thing. If I'm really interested in a woman, like Billy said, hey, what do you want to do, or where do you want to go? Because that tells you about that woman. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And or you have something in common or not. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the date will tell you everything. So
It does. You got to get out of the phones and the text. Go do something, a life experience. You can learn a lot about the other person. Marcus, Aurora, sure appreciate the call. We got You Choose the News coming up. You're listening to the Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's talk leader, News Talk 710, KNUS.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show. It's that time of the morning for Bill Thorpe's You Choose the News.
Yes, it is that time where we get to play America's favorite Fake Radio News Game Show. You choose the news. Yeah, I've scoured the interwebs for just moments this morning to find really dumb stories about us humans. I've given them even more ridiculous headlines so that we can play this Fake Radio News Game Show with you. Why would we waste valuable KNUS airtime at this time of the morning? Well, those in charge are not waking up until 7 o'clock. Oh, wait, the Christmas party yesterday. We probably could do this like 8:30 and we'd still be fine because they're not waking up early anyway. But we are going to keep this as scheduled here at 6:50 in the morning. Remember, this is a giant secret. And as always, Blake Olson is joining us from the news department. Gentlemen, here are our questionable headlines this morning. Headline number 1, getting an education. Headline number 2, family genetics is job number 2. Headline number 3, kicked out of the club. And headline number 4, it's too early for this nonsense. Jeff, your choice.
So let's start with family genetics.
Yeah, family genetics is always job number 2. At least that's according to a researcher who is uncovering the secrets about his family lineage and the secrets to good health. Now, Dr. David Good, well, he's a PhD candidate, not doctor yet. David Good is a PhD candidate at a university, and he is doing some research on the biological uniqueness of a semi-nomadic tribe in Venezuela. Now, it's interesting because he has a connection to this very community through his mother. His mother is a long-term former member of the tribe. Not directly, but like great-grandma was a member of this tribe. So he's very, very curious about the developing ideas and how their biology works. So that's why he's studying their poop. Yes, gross. He is studying the poop of the nomadic tribe in which his ancestors came from. Now, why? No, it's not some sort of weird, OnlyFans thing. Actually, he's looking at the microbiomes in the feces of these people because they are so different from yours and mine. These people have no contact with what we would call regular civilized society, so they don't have contact with all of the ultra-processed food and chemicals that we ingest for years. So they're looking at what is happening inside of their gut, what is the bacteria and biomes there in order for them to digest, because they're finding stuff in their gut that we don't have anymore. So they're going back and looking at it thinking, could we learn something, or is there something that maybe we are missing because of all the crap we've been putting in our body? Yeah. So kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But again, he's a doctoral candidate that is studying poop. So it's not as exciting as you think. I'm just saying. All right. Blake, your choice, sir. Getting an education, kicked out of the club, or it's too early for this nonsense?
Getting an education.
Getting an education, always a good idea. And that's what happened to students at North Carolina High School. They said, we got an education, but totally the wrong kind. That was after an online streamer rented out the school gymnasium recently for a live stream event. The problem is when Canyon Crest Academy in Carmel Valley noticed who was sponsoring this event. Now, it was a 24-hour stream done by a Twitch user who goes by the name of Wubby, or Pay Money Wubby. That is the weird name that he goes by online. But it's not him. It's who was sponsoring the event. Again, at Canyon Crest Academy at Carmel Valley, sponsored by Fansly. Yes, it's one of those naked sites where you can pay and women and the men do weird things. Several students said they found out about the event Friday when they tried to get into the gym, but were told they couldn't because equipment was being set up. Well, you know, kids, this sparks curiosity. What? Twitch? Stream? My school? We got to do this. One student said the very first thing they saw was a full-grown adult and adult man wearing a baby costume and acting like a baby while being fed milk from a bottle from an older woman. He said, I thought that was kind of weird, but I tuned in later and found even stranger things on the advertising scroll that was supposed to be done at the school gymnasium at the time. The school's principal sent out an email to parents Sunday saying, I am sorry for the inappropriate, distasteful, and its conflict with our organization's core values, and we didn't think any of you were going to find out. Oh, no, wait, sorry, I added that last part. But I think that's really what happened.
Here's my resignation.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I love the fact that they accepted the dude coming there, and they didn't check who the sponsors were. Yeah, nice job, guys. Exactly. Good job there. Yeah. All right. Final choice. Mr. Hunt, kicked out of the club, or it's too early for this nonsense?
It's way too early for this nonsense.
Way too early for this nonsense. Here we find ourselves in Spain. A labor court has upheld the dismissal of a 22-year-old logistics company employee who appealed after being fired from her job. See, she actually was fired for disobedience, insubordination, repeated non-compliance with instructions. That is grounds for dismissal under Spain's worker statute. This was totally just untolerated at the workplace. What was this 22-year-old woman doing? She was showing up early.
Oh, my
Yes,
goodness.
she was showing up too early for work. And they were giving her complaints, and they documented 19 different times that she arrived early for work. For some reason, they didn't want her there early. They said, don't come in early, yet she showed up early. So they fired her. Again, for coming in early.
Don't you know this is Europe?
I just don't understand.
That's right.
You're the best, Blake.
Supposed to take all of August off. What's wrong with you?
Yes. That's into You Choose the News. Back to you, Jeff.
All right, we'll continue. Colorado's economy is declining. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is KNUS.